Hi everyone, welcome back to a new video. Today we are going to solve LeetCode's question, maximum score after splitting a string problem. Let's read the problem statement first. So question is saying, given a string s of zeros and ones, return the maximum score after splitting the string into two non-empty substrings, that is left substring and right substring. The score after splitting a string is the number of zeros in the left substring plus number of ones in the right substring. So basically question is saying we have to split the string into two non-empty substrings and then have to calculate the sum of number of zeros in the left substring and number of ones in the right substring. And we have to basically maximize this sum. For example, for the given string this, if we split the string like this such that left section would become 0 and right section would become 1 1 1 0 1, then the score would be the number of zeros in the left, that is 1, and number of ones in the right, that is 4. So the final score would become 1 plus 4 is equals to 5. Next, if we will split the string like this, then the score would become 4, as number of zeros in the left section is equals to 1 and number of ones in the right section is equals to 3. So score would be 1 plus 3 is equals to 4. And so on, we can calculate the score after splitting at each index like this, right? After checking all combinations, we can say 5 is maximum among them. That's why 5 is the answer for this problem, right? And similarly you can calculate for other cases as well. Let's talk about the solution. So one of the approach we can follow here is we can split the string at each index, and after that we will calculate the number of zeros in the left and number of ones in the right section, and then compare the score with already available maximum score variable and update the maximum result. And for this we'll get big of n square is the time complexity. As constraints are less, this solution would work, but let's see an optimized solution as well. For optimized solution, first we will calculate the total number of ones present in the entire string and store it in some variable, and keep a variable to store traverse number of zeros so far. After this, we will start to traverse the string from index 0. The current index represents the split position, that is element still current index from 0th index would be part of my left substring and element after this would be the part of my right substring. So if current character is 0, then we can increment the zero count variable as one more 0 is added to our left section. And if current element is 1, then we will decrement the one count variable as one's count is getting reduced into the right section as it comes to the left side. And after doing this operation on each index, we can compare the current score, which is addition of zero count variable plus one count variable with the maximum score variable, and after traversing all of them we can return the maximum score. And yeah, that's all for this problem. And by this we'll get the time complexity as big of n and space complexity as big of 1, right? Let's dry run this particular solution on this given string. So in this string, total number of ones is equals to 4, and I'm declaring a variable to store the number of zeros into the left section. Currently it's 0. Now at index 0, the current element is 0. So I'll say number of zeros into my left section would become 1, and number of ones in my right sections are 4. So I can say maximum score variable is equals to 5, right? Now I'll go to the next index. Now here the current element is 1, that is this particular one just came into my left section, so I'll have to decrement the 1 from the right section. So now number of ones into the right section is equals to 3, and the number of zeros in the right sections in the left section is 1 only. So now the current score for this particular index is equals to 4. This is less than 5, so we are not going to change anything. Let's go to the next element. Here again we encounter 1, that is one came to the left side from the right side, so we will decrement this one from the right side counter. So this would become 1, this would become 2, and number of zeros into the left section remains as 1. Now here the score would be 3, which is less than 5, we are not going to change anything, and so on. We can traverse the whole string. After doing this, we'll get 5 as the maximum result, and we will return that one. So let's start writing the code in C++ first. So I am declaring a max score variable to store the maximum result. After that, I'm just declaring a variable to calculate the number of zeros into the left section. Left zeros count is equals to 0, and I'm going to declare a variable to store the number of ones in right section. So right ones count is equals to 0. We'll have to calculate total number of ones into the right section, so we are going to use a stl function as dot begin as dot, and this will calculate the total number of ones present in my entire string s. Let's declare a variable to store the size of the this one string. Now let's start to traverse the string. Here I'm going to traverse till n minus 2 index, because being on n minus index means the entire string s is the left substring and empty string is the right substring. As it's already mentioned, we have to split the string into two non-empty substring, so we are going to traverse it till n minus 2 index only, right? So now I'll say if s of I is equals to 0, then left zeros count, increment the left zeros count, else decrement this one, right? That is, if current element is 0, so one more 0 is added to the left section, so I'm just incrementing the count for zeros count. And if the current element is 1, then one more 1 is reduced from the right section and getting added to the left section. As it is getting reduced from the right section, I am just decrementing the count for this. And after this, I can say maximum score is equals to maximum of maximum score, comma, let's copy this one, and after that I can return the maximum score. Let's execute this one, passing the test cases. Let's submit the solution. Yeah, got accepted. Let's code in Java as well. So in Java, I'll say the variables are same as before for C++. I'll have to calculate total number of ones. So what I can do, as dot chars dot filter, if my current element is equals to 1, then only filter it, then only calculate it, and then give me the count, right? After this, right, now if my current character is equals to 0, I'll decrement the my current character at index is 0, then I'll increment the 0 count variable, else I'll decrement the 1 count variable. And after this, I can say maximum score is equals to math dot maximum of maximum score, comma, right? And let's execute this one. Mm, okay, this returns a long, so I'll have to cast it into int. Okay, sorry, this should be s. Wait, this should be s. The count function actually returns the value into the long, that's why we'll have to typecast into the int. So yeah, accepted. Let's submit this one. Okay, so this is also accepted. And yeah, that's all for this question. Bye bye.